Everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today on this Nexford Virtual Tour webinar. I'm just waiting for a few more minutes for more people to join us. But in the meantime, for those few attendees who have already joined, I would love for you guys to introduce yourselves in the webinar chat. If everybody can just say from where in the world they're joining me from today, as well as which program they're interested in applying. I'll send you guys a message as well on chat. Are you interested in the MBA or the BBA, or perhaps a short certificate or a single course? Come on, guys, don't be shy to introduce yourselves. Hi, Oni. Hello. Hello, I'm Apola from Lagos, Nigeria, registered for the BBA. Fantastic. Nice to meet you, Apola. Thanks for joining me today. It's a very great choice for the BBA. I'm glad to hear you've already registered. Have you already completed your enrollment as well? And does this mean you're planning to start your program on February 1? Right, guys, I think I will go ahead and start our webinar. That's great to hear, Paula. Okay, February 1, fantastic. Okay, guys, anybody who's joined me today, just so you know, the enrollment deadline for the February 1 intake has already ended, unfortunately, but the next intake that you can join is March 1. So I hope that everybody on the call with me today have a lot of questions for me. That's what I'm here to answer for you today. So please make sure to send in your questions in the Q&A segment or the Q&A box, all right? So that way, at the end of our 30-minute webinar, I can start answering some questions and hopefully clear up some things that are still not so clear for you guys. Okay, with that, I will officially start the webinar. I'll just introduce myself. So my name is Mai, and I'm a Nexford Application Specialist. And I've been with Nexford for over 3 years now. And during that time, I've spoken with so many aspiring learners such as yourselves. And one of the most common questions I get, of course, is how exactly will I be studying online at Nexford? How is the online learning experience like? You know, are there exams? How do I get to the materials? What do I need to do to study, and so on? So I hope I can answer a lot of those questions for you guys today, and then maybe jog your memory for any additional questions that you believe you have. All right, so please don't forget to send in your questions in the Q&A box, like I said. And also, just to let you know, the call is being recorded. So if you are facing any technical difficulties, or if you need to jump out of the call at any point, don't worry. Because it's being recorded, you can just ask our team for a playback of the webinar. Right. I will start sharing my screen with you guys so everybody can see the online learning platform. It may just be frozen for a few seconds, but I believe that everybody can now see my screen. Anybody can just confirm with a show of hands, or maybe just tell me yes, or yes, I can see, something like that on chat. That would be fantastic. Okay, I see some people raising their hands. Thanks, Odusola. And well, yes, Paula, thanks a lot. Thank you, Sunday. Okay, fantastic. All right, so I will get started. So what you guys are currently looking at is the main dashboard of the online learning platform. So the learning management system that we're using is called Canvas. And if you guys haven't heard of this yet, it is a learning management system that is known to be adopted by top universities like Harvard and Oxford. And the great thing is that it's super user-friendly, and I think you guys will see that today. And there's also an application that you can download. So when you study at Nexford, it's not only 100% on a PC or a laptop. You can download this mobile application, Canvas app. And when you get your login information, so your login credentials, that you only get that once you get fully enrolled at Nexford. Once you have that, just search for Nexford University, use your login info to log in, and then you can log into the online platform. You can check your course, your program, you can do your assignments, you can study on the go, and definitely check your grades, speak with professors, and so much more. All right, so it's a very great and fully functioning application as well. Let me go back to the main dashboard here. So when you do get enrolled at Nexford, this is when you get access to this online platform. And I'm in the homepage here in the main dashboard. And these 4 boxes represent the courses that you are enrolled in at Nexford, but not all of them, because there is the NXU Orientation and the Writing Lab, and these are exceptions. So these are not courses that are actually included in your MBA curriculum. The orientation is a very short course, so every Nexford course has 6 modules that you need to complete. Right, whereas the orientation only has 3. And the NXU orientation is something that you will be required to take and complete once you get enrolled at Nexford and just right before you start your official Nexford program. So for example, if anyone has already enrolled for the February 1 intake, I'm sure you're already going through your NXU orientation, or you're already required to complete that before you start your official program. All right, so let me show you guys. For example, this is called Leadership MBA courses. If I go to the module section from the table of contents here, you'll see that there is module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right, so every course, like I said, is designed in the same way. It has 6 modules as well as a final project, and you get graded for 5 assignments and the final project. That's a total of 6 graded assignments you need to complete, and that is what forms your total graded at Nexford, total GPA. Okay, so that's just a little overview, but just to show you that this has 6 modules, whereas the orientation, which I'm in right now, the modules, for example, you'll see that this has module 1, 2, and 3 only, and then just the closing. So what is the orientation? So like I said, it is like your welcome package. You're required to complete this once you get enrolled at Nexford. So it tells you everything you need to know to navigate through our online platform. It tells you how to use Canvas, how to reach out to your professor, how to reach out to other learners. It tells you about the writing lab, for example, which I will also tell you guys about today, and so much more. So I will give you guys a sneak peek of the orientations. You get a better idea about it. So the introduction of the orientation right here, you'll see we welcome you, of course, to Nexford University, and you get sort of this welcome message and video from our founder and CEO, Fadil Tarzi, and he tells everybody about how Nexford was founded and kind of the mission behind Nexford University. So I would love to play this for you guys just for a few seconds.
It's been said that the future is a convenient place for dreams, so why not dream big? I've always known education changes lives, but I first realized its impact over a decade ago. On my entrepreneurial journey, I saw a gap between the skills of college graduates and the needs of employers. With my own startups, I struggled to find people with the right competencies. For example,
okay, that's just a sneak peek for you guys. I hope that was entertaining. Of course, you can watch it in its entirety once you get enrolled at Nexford. I just want to show you that for this video, you'll find that there is a button to download a written transcript for this video. And that applies to every video within the courses or within the modules. You'll find that there is a written transcript that you can download, which can make that super easier for you. And I want to just say that this video right here is just a small example of the different and dynamic elements through which you're going to be doing your studying at Nexford. So it's not just going to be a lot of text. We don't want our learners falling asleep. So you'll find that there are videos like these. Sometimes there are audio clips that are embedded. There are YouTube videos, there are blog length articles. You can have live discussions, of course, and live engagements with professors, with faculty, as well as with other learners. You can join group projects with them. You'll find that there are like little exercises sometimes within the courses that you need to complete to move forward, and so much more. So there's always something to keep you engaged. And as you go through the orientation, the introduction anyway, we tell you about some things that you can join from the beginning that can help you with your Nexford learning journey, such as joining some NXU learning communities, which are led by other Nexford learners who are experts in certain industries or fields. So you can join those different communities depending on your interest. So if you are into entrepreneurship, for example, that is something you can join. Otherwise, maybe if you're into finance or HR or marketing, you can join those communities instead. And then, of course, there are learner WhatsApp groups. So I really recommend you guys join this from the beginning. It's really useful, I would say, to have a study buddy, and you'll find that there are a lot of WhatsApp groups that cover many things. So what I mean by that is some of them are intake specific, program specific, or country specific. And you can even start up your own WhatsApp group in case you don't find one that is relevant to what you're looking for. But we have new WhatsApp groups starting up every now and again. All right, so that is just a sneak peek of the orientation. As you keep going through it, we'll tell you about all the different offerings that you get as an Nexford learner, as well as all the benefits. And you go through the university starter kit, where you learn more about how the courses are ordered, how you can add more than one course at the same time, how you can complete your program faster. Of course, you learn about all the different deadlines that you need to remember, whether it's participation deadline or assignment deadline. If you ever need to withdraw or take a leave of absence, that is what we call taking a break from your program. So of course, you're allowed to take a break. That can be a couple of months at a time, depending on the program that you're studying, and so much more. And we tell you about the support that you get, of course, and the different tools that you need to download. You do get free access to Microsoft Office and all of its tools. You'll need to download that because you will be using Teams, during your program. And so in regards to the support that you get, of course, there is a writing coach, and I'll tell you guys about that through the writing lab. But there's also success advisors. So our success team is comprised of lovely success advisors from all around the world. You get 24/7 access and support from them. You can reach out to them 24/7, and they are there to guide you. They serve as your coach or sort of your mentor throughout your program in case you're facing any challenges with your course or your journey, your learning journey in general, any technical difficulties, anything like that. They are the go-to people. They will help you even reach out to a different team if it's relevant to something else. All right, that is a sneak peek of the orientation for you guys. If anybody has any questions so far about what I've covered, please don't hesitate to send them in the Q&A section or the Q&A box. And I just want to confirm of hands or with a yes. I hope I'm not facing any sort of technical difficulties or internet issues. So I hope everyone is hearing me just fine today. All right, Christopher raised your hand. Thank you for that. Great, then I will assume that everybody can hear me just fine as well. Thank you, Gucci, also. All right, fantastic. So that is the orientation for you guys. The other thing I mentioned is the writing lab. And like I said, this is not a course that you get enrolled in. This is rather a resource that you always have access to 24/7, right? So the writing lab, when you click on that, it takes you to this page. If I go to the module section, sorry, let me go back to the home page actually. For the writing lab. So it tells you a bit about what the writing lab is all about. And so we know that not everybody's a natural born writer, and especially for the kind of formatting or the kind of assignments that you'll be required to do throughout your Nexford program, you may be required to use things you never used before, such as APA formatting. So we're going to tell you all about that. And this is where you can improve your academic writing, improve your English skills. And of course, we have a writing lab coach on board. Her name is Caroline Fernandez, and she's super helpful. If you go to the module section, this is where first you can look at some, documents and articles and stuff like that can help you with writing related questions. So whether you need help with English grammar, paragraph structure, or so on, you can go through these videos, go through these documents. And if it still doesn't answer your question, then we have some FAQs And again, if those don't still answer your question, then you can go ahead and book a one-on-one session with Caroline. So there is a little bio for her in the main page here, as you would have seen. All right, and if you click on this link, it takes you to a booking page with Caroline, where you can book a one-on-one session with her. So that is a 30-minute call. Just pick the date that suits you, as well as the timing, depending on your time zone. Put in your info and book. And it's that easy to have a one-on-one call with Caroline. Alternatively, you can join these drop-in sessions that she regularly holds every week, I believe. You'll find the announcements for them right here. So they would be like the recent announcements of any page or the writing lab. You'll also get these notifications in your mailbox, as well as the inbox embedded in the online platform. And I'll show you guys the inbox in a second. But if you click on any of these, for example, the great thing about these drop-in sessions is that they can be joined by other learners from around the world. Sometimes they're joined by as many as 100 learners, and she will often tell everybody what topics she's going to cover in these sessions. The great thing is that there is a PowerPoint presentation usually included, recorded, so you can watch the playback for reference. That's super useful, and it's also a great opportunity for you guys, obviously, to meet other learners from around the world, hear different questions from them. That might again also jog your memory about other questions you didn't realize you had, and so much more. So I really recommend you guys try to reach out as much as you can throughout your online learning journey to other learners, because they can be easily reached out to through many different platforms, right? So whether it's through these videos, these group projects, alternatively, there is of course the inbox. So I'll show you guys that. When you click on that, you also get the notifications for the writing lab, like I mentioned. And of course, if anybody else sent you any other message, you would be getting them here. But I want to show you how you can compose a new message. Just click on that button and then click on the course you're studying, for example, leadership and organizational development. Do you want to speak with a teacher, or do you want to speak with a student? Let's say you want to speak with a student named Abigail. Just put that in, put the subject and your message, and send. And it's that easy to send or compose a new message to anybody in the online platform. All right, so I showed you an example of how you can send a message to a student. Well, how will you figure out who is actually studying with you, right? So I want to show you leadership and organizational development just as an example. So this is just a course, right? In the table of contents, just look for people. So there's always a people section for every course. When you click on that, it'll show you who else is studying this course with you. There is this column here for the role, so they could be a student or a teacher. So you can find, of course, the list will often be much longer than this. It'll be longest of students. And then just if you want to instead send the message to your teacher directly, then just look for the role of teacher, and then they will often also have a profile and so on. This is one of the many ways you can get acquainted with the other learners that are with you in any given course. Okay, so that is the inbox button. You guys, in the left side navigation pane here, which by the way follows you no matter where you go in the online platform. All right, and you will see that there is a calendar also, and you can click on that from here. But before I jump into the calendar, I want to show you that some of the fun features you can play around with in the online platform. You'll see this button right here with these three this colored button with these three dots. When you click on that, you can change the color of the course, and you can even choose to do a color overlay if you like. So where does that make a difference? That makes a difference in the calendar, something that you can control. And then because of that, they will be placed in your calendar with the color that you've chosen. So that can be something you can play around with. It can help you sort of organize your events and your own event, add your own to-do item. You can make it as fleshed out as you like by clicking on more options. You can add more details, and then just, of course, add that to your calendar and create the event. The great thing is that the calendar is also, it can be synced with your PC or your laptop Of course, when you download the mobile application, also you can download the calendar along with that, so that can be synchronized also with your mobile phone. So no matter what device you're using, no matter where you are, you can stay connected and not miss out on any reminders, of course. Okay, so that is the calendar, guys. So I've shown you the dashboard as well as the inbox. And if you click on courses, just shows you an overview of the courses that you're enrolled in. If you go to account, of course, this is just your account details, which you can edit. And then history, of course, just shows you the last pages, your activity, where you've gone in the online platform. And then finally, there is LinkedIn Learning area of over 60 million resources that cover so many different topics around the world. And so, of course, you get free and unlimited access to this as a Nexford learner. So as you can see, you can jump to a specific group or topic. You can even search for what you're looking for, or just browse through them like this. So these include encyclopedias, they include blog length articles, they include research papers and so much more. So this can also be such a great tool for you to use for research as you're studying your Nexford program. That is the NXU library. And there is LinkedIn Learning. If you haven't heard of LinkedIn Learning, then I'm super excited to tell you that you get free and unlimited access as well to LinkedIn Learning as a Nexford learner. So that is getting access to over 16,000 LinkedIn Learning courses and videos at no extra cost. So these can cover any topic. It does not have to be related to the Nexford program that you're studying. And the great thing is that also you'll find that there are some courses at Nexford where we will actually add, a LinkedIn Learning course suggestion for you within the module. If we find that it is related. So you can do that for additional learning, but it is not required. For example, here under the expand section, we put a LinkedIn Learning course called Change Management Foundations. So we put that for you there in case you want to do some additional learning and check that out. Under this module, there's also Leading Change and so on. So you will find them embedded in your courses. Of course, you don't have to complete those in those order. If you have the free time and browse, what courses you want to look for. When you complete LinkedIn Learning, any course or video, you do get a certificate of completion. So that is a verified, of course, certificate, and you can add that to your CV or your resume or your online platform or profile. And that's a great way to show your community that you're learning on the go and you're not just waiting to complete your program to apply the skills that you're learning. All right, and upon completing, if you click on it, it does take you to this page with more, awarded this digital badge. Okay. And you'll find that some of our learners make it a habit of or a hobby, I would say, of collecting these badges in their profile, as you can see. Here's more details. For example, it shows you what was the earning criteria, what skills you did in fact gain in order to be awarded this digital badge. Okay, so last thing I'll talk about today, guys, is just our career services portal. So this is basically to say how exactly Nexford is going to be helping you with your career. So one of the many ways, of course, is the NXU library I showed you guys, as well as LinkedIn Learning. So you will find that that is covered in our career page here, which anybody can access. So it is on our website. So I do recommend you guys check that out for more info. So I did tell you guys about LinkedIn Learning. There is also IBM Digital Nation Africa. So if you are based, in Africa, which I think some of you on this call are, and if you're interested in something that is more tech related, maybe programming, AI, cybersecurity, and so on, then I recommend you check out IBM Digital Nation Africa, where you also get free access to those types of courses and videos. And then we also have localized. This is one of the great many offerings that we have, where you can create a profile for yourself. You can get connected with career coaches and mentors around the world. You can also join info right here, which tells you how we help you with your career. For example, how to prepare your, for job applications, reskilling, upskilling, and so much more. But if you scroll to the bottom, there's also that we partnered with, it's a new initiative that we launched, I think early last year, called the Global Grid. And it's a mentorship program that will enable talent around the world to prepare for remote jobs. You'll find that there are webinars that can be joined by anybody. So these are, in fact, open to the public. If you are already in our mailing list, then you should be receiving notifications for these regular webinars. And then alternatively, of course, there are these group mentoring sessions that are exclusive only for Nexford learners. You'll find that our mentors come from all around the world, and they are handpicked for their industry expertise, and they work in companies like Samsung and Coca-Cola. So I really recommend you guys check this out as well. And then last but not least is also Forage. So this is a career resource where you can get virtual work experience at real companies like JP Morgan and Accenture. So it's a free resource that complements your learning as you get to apply the skills that you learn. Plus, you can actually choose to share your task submissions. Okay, I tried to cover as much as I could today, guys. There is a lot to unpack and unravel with our online platform and with our online learning experience. So if you do have additional questions, now is the time to send them in, preferably in the Q&A section or the Q&A segment. You can send them in the chat as well. I'll try to get to them there, but it'll be easier in the Q&A section. Let's see. I only have one question here. Quite a long one from Odusola. Hello, good afternoon. How are you doing today? I've just applied and enrolled for the March 1 batch, but I chose business analytics as my specialization instead of 360 marketing. And I'd like to know if I can change this choice and how I can change it. Also, I joined the March 1 batch today and I was directed to the payment page. I clicked on the Flutterwave option, but I couldn't make the payment because the page didn't load. I had the same problem while I was paying my application fee, and I had to pay through an account number that my advisor sent to me. Can this issue be looked into, please? Thank you very much. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for the very well written message, Odusola. First of all, congratulations on getting enrolled, of course, and applying and enrolling for the March 1 batch. We cannot wait for you to join us then. You can certainly change your specialization. So no matter what specialization you choose from the beginning, from the application stage, even anytime throughout your program, you have all the way until the last 3 courses in your BBA or even in your MBA for those studying an MBA to change your specialization. So you can definitely just tell our team right away, whether it's our admissions team or our success team, just let them know that you wish to change the specialization of your choice. And again, whatever you choose now, you can change it again in a few months, you can change it in a year. So you're not bound to the choice you make from now because, your opinion might change with time as you study your BBA also, as you go through the courses, you may discover with time that you're interested in different specialization. Okay, so I hope that answered your question about the specialization. In regards to having an error, I do recommend you try making sure you have a stable internet connection and then maybe trying from a different device first. So you can try from a mobile phone maybe to do the payment, or maybe a different PC or a laptop. If that doesn't work, then please send a message to our team on WhatsApp or our team at help@nexford.org. That way you just give us your, when you reach out, of course, we'll have your number or maybe your email address, and then that way we can help you follow up with the challenge that you're facing. So let me also share on chat, guys, just our team's WhatsApp number as well as our help inbox email address. That on the chat. I've also sent a link to our booking forms. So if you follow that link on our website, you'll find that that is where you can also book a one-on-one session, just like this one today, only with me. It'll be a one-on-one virtual tour. So it's a mini virtual tour. It'll go on for maybe 15-20 minutes. And that is if you have additional questions and wish to see a different area or a different aspect of our online platform. Right, I see a question from every program at Nexford has a different average program duration. So please, Sunday, can you clarify which program you're asking about? Because our MBA has a different average program duration, as well as our BBA and so on. Okay, Felicitas says, hello, can someone be hired by any of the companies they work / practice for on Forge? I believe you can, yes. So if you do, of course, send in your task submissions, of course, that can be picked up by recruiters. That is definitely possible. And then you can have maybe an interview with them and so on. So it's a great way to get you out there, of course. It's a great way for you to practice, obviously, the skills that you're learning. At the same time, it's a great way to be noticed by other recruiters from around the world in those companies specifically. All right, does anyone else have any additional questions? Sunday, you're saying software engineering. Okay, I'm so sorry to say, Sunday, we do not currently have any programs related to engineering. We only offer business-related programs, so we only have 2 undergraduate programs at the moment and 1 graduate level program, which is our MBA degree program, and they all vary in length. Of course, we do plan on adding new programs in the future, but that is not currently being announced yet. So do stay tuned for when that may be. What programs would those be? I do not currently know. So all I can say is that we do not at the moment have any engineering related programs, unfortunately. All right, guys, any more questions? Have a, all right, yes, hold on. Okay, sure, just hold on. I am still here. I will give you guys a few more minutes to maybe gather any sort of questions you have while we have each other on the line. I will also send some information about the software development bootcamp program that we have. So Sunday, I know we don't have something related to engineering, but maybe you'll be interested in this program. So I recommend you check it out. I'm sending it on the chat also. Was asking what happens if I pay tuition fee today. Like I said earlier, I registered for the March 1 batch and I saw that I'm supposed to pay my first tuition on the 20th of March, but I was directed the payment page. What is that payment for my tuition? Yes, so if you go anywhere on our online platform at the moment, since you have not paid your tuition yet, it does make sense that it is taking you to the tuition payment page for you to complete that once you're ready, right? So if you pay today, you can still start on March 1, by the way. So if anybody gets enrolled today, you can choose a future start date up to 4 months ahead. So that can be March 1, April 1, May 1, or June 1, right? So it's up to you if you want to pay today, if you want to pay on the 20th. The deadline to join the March 1 intake would be February 27th. So perhaps you can check with our team about, so that might be the reason. If you are based in Nigeria, I'm not sure, but we do have some running promotions there, so you might want to get enrolled by the end of this month in order to benefit from that. So that the deadline for that would be the 31st of January, and you can do that and still start on March 1. Payment page would be for the tuition. And you're welcome, Otusolan. All right. Any additional questions, guys? Is everybody clear on the application and enrollment process? So getting enrolled, getting fully registered at Nexford is kind of a two-part process, right? You have to apply first. So applying is you pay a one-time $20 application fee, and you upload, certain admission requirements that are dependent on the proficiency, but we give you 60 days to provide that, 60 days from your chosen program start date. So that's okay if you don't have that right away. As well as your school transcripts, we give you 60 days for those also from your chosen program start date, but you will be required to show some sort of proof of previous or prior education, as well as proof of, like I said, valid identification, form of identification. So that is what is required once you're applying at Nexford, and then pay the $20 application fee, submit your application. It can take anywhere from 1 to 7 business days to get a response from our admissions team. But if you follow their admission requirements correctly, then I don't think you should have any challenge. You can get a response, a positive, hopefully, admissions decision on your application as soon as 1 or 2 days. Sometimes same day decision can happen also. So just make sure to read our application page correctly. Make sure if you're having any issues, just check with our help team, or WhatsApp us on our WhatsApp number that I shared on the chat. And that way you can get additional advice from other Nexford application specialists that can help you make sure you are uploading a successful application. So once you get the positive application decision, the next stage is the enrollment process. So during the enrollment process, that is where you will be required to pay at least the first month of your program tuition. All right. So for the MBA, if you're based in Nigeria, that is $180. So you need to pay just a one-time payment minimum for that to secure your enrollment, complete your enrollment, and secure your spot in the intake that you've chosen. All right, so that is one of the things that you're going to be required to do in the enrollment process. The other thing, of course, is just like signing the enrollment agreement, choosing your start date, choosing your payment frequency. Do you want to pay every month? Do you want to pay every 2 months? Do you want to pay every 6 months? So that is something that you need to choose also during your enrollment process. And again, anything you select, then you can change it later. So if you decide from the beginning you want to pay every 2 months and you change your mind, that's okay. You can pay monthly, you can pay every 6 months in advance, and so on. That is just a wrap up of the application and enrollment process. But what I will do, guys, is also send you a guide. This is a PDF guide for the application and enrollment process. That way you guys can have this at hand. It's a very useful PDF. It's very clear. It even has screenshots for every section. So if you follow that closely, I believe you should also have a successful Nexford. Sunday says, thanks. Software development is also a nice program. You're welcome. I'm glad to hear that, Sunday. I do hope you check that out, and that is something that you might be interested in applying to. All right. Any other questions, guys? Oh, I see I missed one on chat here. It's from Deepri. Okay, for my scavenger hunt assignment, I cannot contact fellow students as required on my browser via the Canvas. Do I need to wait for this course to start before I do? Not too sure what you're talking about here. I'm so sorry about that. If it is very program specific, if it's about a certain course and an assignment, then I recommend the team that you need to go to who could provide you with accurate advice on this is our success team. So that is a team that is comprised of our success advisors, which I mentioned earlier, guys. So let me send you their info. Again, please, guys, if you haven't applied or enrolled in Nexford yet, please don't send a message to this contact info I'm sending right now on the chat, because this is only for Nexford learners. Well, these success advisors are there to help you with your Nexford. Actually, let me send that directly to But if you haven't started the assignment yet, then I would think that is why you're still unable to. But again, our success team would have much more accurate advice for you. So I recommend you reach out to them directly. Any other questions, guys? Question from Sunday here about the software development course. Can you tell me if you are based in Nigeria? Because that'll vary. So the tuition fee for the software development bootcamp program, which lasts, like I said, 6 to 8 months, I think around 8 months mostly to complete. From Kenya, we'll check the prices. Prices vary depending on where in the world you're based. $20 per month. That is a tuition fee. Okay, I've shared the info with you in the Q&A as well Sunday. Also the requirements, you apply to that. Okay, send you some more questions and info as well as the log, as well as the next intake is February 15th. You can start our software development bootcamp course as soon as February 15th. And I just sent you the link for that also, as well as the details of what you need when you're applying. And of course, some things you just need to check is, are you at least 18 years of age? Have you completed your high school or degree? Do you have a personal laptop? And so on. So I've sent you those questions also, so please check them out and make sure to click on the links that I've shared with you. That should provide you with more information. All right. Any other questions, anybody? I believe I'll be wrapping up our call then today. I hope everybody enjoyed this mini virtual tour. I hope I was able to provide information that was useful for everybody. If at any point you have any additional questions that you forgot to ask today, let me send our contact info again, just so you guys can make sure to reach out to our team, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Of course, I look forward to everybody joining us in our next intake. If you haven't succeeded to enroll, soon to join our February 1 intake, then our next intake that you can join the soonest is March 1. So I do look forward to everybody joining us then. Again, thank you for taking the time today to join me in this mini virtual tour. I hope everybody has a good day or a good evening, and thanks again.